It's a beautiful day. That wind is so cold. It is another absolutely freezing day.
I strongly recommend investing in an hoodie.
Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm sure you've probably already realised that it has got a little bit chillier. The temperatures have dropped. And yeah, getting out for a run just changes a little bit when it gets so cold. So I thought I'd do this YouTube video on my top tips for running in the winter and when the cold weather hits. I have heard that apparently this is meant to get a bit warmer, but still we're in the winter, so it's getting chilly. And I just want to make sure that you can be as prepared as possible so you don't make some easy mistakes in the winter. My first tip would be layer up. Like, it gets so cold, especially when it's like minuses when you start the run. Yeah, you get warmer as you go, but that's the key of layering. You can slowly take off more layers as you go, but you want to make sure your body is as warm as possible before you start. This just sort of ensures that you can avoid like starting on too cold muscles. You don't want your muscles to be really cold because that's when you can pull something. So just make sure you are staying as warm as possible. And if you need to chuck off the layers as you go, you can do that, but make sure you have plenty on at the start. So I tend to start on the cold days, running like a long sleeve and then some sort of running jumper, sort of sweatshirt type thing, headband, gloves, leggings, all of it. And as I say, you can take off the headband, you can take off the gloves, and you can take off the other layers, but you're better to get too hot than to be too cold. It is another absolutely freezing day. As you can see, I've got all the layers on, the headband, gloves are out. I've got a session this morning and I don't think the leggings are going to be coming off because it is windy. My weather app says it feels like -8. So yeah, for this one, it's just, the key when it's so cold is just to ease into it. So like whether it's an easy run or a session, just make sure you're starting super easy. So as you start your warm up, go really chilled because you just don't want to strain anything, pull anything. You want to let like everything gradually warm up and loosen, and the same for the session. Like start out a bit slower because you can always pick it up as you warm into it and your body loosens up. It's a beautiful day. That wind is so cold. Yeah, I find it so important to just start really easy and like same in a session, not set any paces, like the same as if it was a boiling hot day, just because your body needs time to like adjust. And I find even like when I'm warming up now, everything just feels really stiff and like it doesn't flow nicely. So you just need to not push things so that your body can warm up, everything gets flowing a bit better. But it's a beauty of a morning. Actually already warming up, so headband's coming off. Whew.
When I get back from a run, whether it's back to the car or back home, I always make sure that I put on some warm and dry clothes straight away. So even if I'm running from home, jump in a shower quick, get nice and warm, and then put some dry clothes on. And also, likewise, if I've driven, just as soon as I get back in the car, make sure I've taken some dry, warm clothes with me, because if it is cold and wet, I want to make sure that I've got something nice and dry to put on to avoid myself getting really cold, because it might lead to me getting ill or something like that, and it's just not worth the risk. If you haven't got one, I strongly recommend investing in an hoodie. They are insane for when it's cold. You can just get back, chuck any clothes on, and if you put this over the top, you are warm forever. Literally life-changing. Get an hoodie. A blanket and a hoodie. So when you're going out in the cold, you want to kind of ensure that your muscles are as warm and activated as possible before you get going, whether it's an easy run or a session. So I always make sure that I have activated and got everything waking up, and I tend to do that with a band. So I might do little things like try and go through like the whole body. I'll do foot activations, working at all different angles just to wake up those little muscles in your feet. You can do different bands like clamshells. You're getting the glutes fired. But yeah, anything that you would sort of do just to get your body awake and feeling warm, so that when you go outside, it's not a complete shock to the system because everything is so tight and cold. Even in the summer, my band is my best friend. It just gets your body feeling a bit more awake before you go out and run. You don't need to have like necessarily such a robust band. You can get different sort of bands. You can literally get them on Amazon for just a couple of pounds. So if you don't have a band, I would definitely invest in one. You can also do things like your high knees and just go through the motions in the house before you step outside, because again, your muscles are warm, so you'll be able to wake them up without shocking them with the cold weather.
It is absolutely freezing outside, so I am tucked up in bed, keeping nice and warm, but I thought I would tell you about my next tip for the winter. So one thing that I really don't shy away from is running on the treadmill. Not necessarily for sessions, but it does play a really important role in the winter for sessions. If it's icy outside and you just don't think you can get in a safe run, I would always jump on the treadmill. Like, you can just be sure it's not going to be slippery, you're going to get in a decent run, and it's not worth the risk when you might fall over or something like that. It's also great for like tempo sessions, because you can just slot in the pace and stay onto that and not worry about slipping off the pace, but also not worry if the conditions aren't great that you're going to be slipping instead of just being able to focus on, you know, getting the session done. Also, for those either early morning or late night runs when you don't want to be running in the dark, because personally, it's a bit scary running outside in the dark, jump on the treadmill. I always do. I am an ambassador for Noble Pro, which is the treadmill that you can see me running in the clips that I have shown. And if you want to get some juicy discounts on them, look in the description below and follow my link. Woken up and it's the triple whammy. It's cold, wet and windy. So I'm going to go on the treadmill, like I said. Just got to be smart, and sometimes it's an easy run today. There's no point battling the forces. So yeah, I'm going to go in the warm. This is what I've decided to go inside. Look.
Something I would 100% recommend keeping an eye on, especially when it's icy, is your footwear. If you've got quite old trainers, the grip on the bottom can wear away really quickly without you realising. And if you go outside when it's cold and slippy and icy or even frosty, that could lead to some problems. So definitely make sure that your trainers are updated and the grip is good. Sorry, they're very muddy because you can tell they're well used. If you are running off-road or on a specifically icy day, like trail shoes are always a go, because as you can see, the grip on these is exceptional, so you will be much more supported in terms of the grippiness. Similarly with your like everyday trainers, they are still great. I do tend to still just run in my normal trainers even when it is slippy, and go to the trail shoes when I really need to, like if it's snowy or something. Yeah, again, just make sure that your shoes aren't too worn so that they're going to protect you as much as possible. Thank you for watching another YouTube video, and I hope these little tips and tricks help you with your winter running. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, hit a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I would also really appreciate it if there's anything specifically that you want to see in terms of videos throughout the winter and the next couple of months, just let me know. And also if you've got any feedback for things that I could work on, also let me know in the comment section below, and I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.